What's going on, guys? K-Dog's Kennel coming at you here on YouTube with my picks for Week 6 of the 2022 NFL season. Hey! I don't know why my cat's yowling over here, but come on. But in any event, last week, we went 9-7, didn't have a really good week. We still were above 500, but bringing us to the season to 49-32-1. So let's go ahead and get at our picks. We have our bye weeks starting this week. We have the Lions, Texans, Raiders, and Titans all on a bye this week. So therefore, we only have 14 games this week as opposed to the normal 16. We're going to kick it off tomorrow night with a Titanic game. I can't even say that with a straight face because we have the 1-4 Washington Commanders taking on the 2-3 Chicago Bears. I'm taking the Commanders in an upset. The Commanders cannot be this bad. Can they? I mean, yeah, they're 1-4. They're bad. The Bears are bad. Surely Washington's not that bad, are they? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what it is about it, but, a couple weeks ago I took some upset picks, and they paid out real well. I'm hoping tomorrow night does the same thing for me. I'm going to take the Commanders over the Bears. I'm going to blitz these somewhat quick. Next up, we have the 3-2 San Francisco 49ers taking on the 2-3 Atlanta Falcons. I got the 49ers going over in this game. 49ers are banged up on defense. Still not sure if Nick Bosa is going to play with that groin injury, but I do think that the 49ers are a better team than the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons, they've got 2 wins. It's just, again, on paper, 49ers, I just feel are the better team. So we have the 49ers going over on that. Next up, 2-3 New England Patriots taking on the 2-3 Cleveland Browns. I have the Browns going over. Bailey Zappi, I believe, is going to make his second start. Again, it comes down to the Browns are a better team on paper. They're better offensively. They're better defensively. Don't mind Oakley walking across the way. And it just seems like every time I pick Cleveland falters. So it would not surprise me if New England wins because now I'm picking Cleveland. But be that as it may, what are you doing, child? What are you doing? Okay. Really, you're gonna flop on my notebook, which I need to see. Like, seriously, these are my picks. So it's like one of those, like, and my cat's trying to get in on that. But I have the Browns going over the Patriots. Next up, 3-2 New York Jets taking on the 3-2 Green Bay Packers. I'm going to tell you something. I flip-flopped on this game multiple times. I'm ultimately going to take the Packers at home. But I'm going to tell you right now, the Packers are a mess. The Packers cannot put two halves of football together. There's no reason they should have lost to the Giants in London, especially after that first half. It was 20-10, I believe, at halftime. And the Packers just faltered in the second half. The Packers have got to figure out how to put 2 halves of football together to play a complete game. And now you have a team in the New York Jets that are on the rise. The Jets are getting better. The Jets are not the wishy-washy team they once were. What are you doing, my child? But I do have the Packers winning. But I'm going to tell you something right now. It will not surprise me if the Jets go over in this game. I think, what are you doing? Will you stop? My cat is driving me nuts. Yes, I see you. Can I finish my picks, please? Where was I? So the Packers going over in this game. Next up, 2-3 Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the 2-1 Indianapolis Colts. I want to take Jacksonville in this game so bad, but Jacksonville is one of those teams that you just don't know what you're going to get. Especially, they lost to the Texans last week. Very surprising. I've got the Colts going over at home. Yes, I know in Jacksonville the Colts got blanked, but it just seems like Indianapolis at home, they're starting. Maybe, I don't know. They're starting to figure out their offense and or defense, but I don't know. Jacksonville is just not impressing me enough to pick them in this game. I got the Colts going over on Jacksonville. What do you want, my sweet baby boy? My sweet baby boy. I'm going to show you to the people here in a minute. Next up, we have the 4-1 Minnesota Vikings taking on the 3-2 Miami Dolphins. I got the Vikings going over in this game. Dolphins are now down to their third string quarterback. I know he's a rookie. Couldn't tell you his name, to be honest with you. I apologize for that. But I think the Vikings are going to capitalize on that. And I just feel the Vikings are the better team. Miami started off 3-0. They lost to the Bengals a couple of weeks ago. They lost Tagovailoa or whatever the hell, however you say his name. Teddy Bridgewater is in concussion protocol. He's going to be out. So the Dolphins down to third string against that Minnesota defense. I don't like that too well, so I'm going to go with Minnesota. Next up, the 2-3 Cincinnati Bengals taking on the 2-3 New Orleans Saints. I have the Bengals going over in this game. I think the Bengals need this win. I think the Bengals are definitely showing that the Super Bowl hangover is real. The Rams are kind of feeling that too. We'll talk about the Rams here in a little bit. But I think the Bengals need this win more. The Saints, I don't see doing anything this year. Taysom Hill, I think, is one of the lone bright spots. Obviously, Alvin Kamara. Yeah, like I said, I think the Bengals need this win a little bit more than New Orleans does. So I got the Bengals going over in that game. Next up, 3-2 Baltimore Ravens taking on the 4-1 New York Football Giants. Hey, listen, I got nothing but respect for the New York Giants. I think what head coach Brian Daboll has done in New York has been nothing short of outstanding. However, I don't see them overcoming Baltimore. It's in New York, which is to the Giants' advantage, of course. But Lamar Jackson is a step above Daniel Jones. Of course, I said that with Aaron Rodgers in London. They talk. Jair Alexander kind of spouted off of the mouth. Oh, we play in London. It's a different time zone. Fuck that. You got to play. 2 hours of football. I talked about that with the Packers game. But I've got the Ravens going over in this game. Yes, the Giants have a better record, but I think the Ravens have the better team. And I think that's going to showcase, my God, what do you want, my child? Mwah. I love you. Next up, 3-2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the 1-4 Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Steelers are going to get just obliterated in this game. I got the Buccaneers going over this game as Oakley's trying to talk into the microphone. I just think at the end of the day, the Steelers have nothing. The Steelers, I don't want to say are going to tank. Kenny Pickett looked like ass last week against Buffalo. The whole team looked like ass against Buffalo. And now you have another team, another perennial powerhouse of a team in Tampa Bay coming to town. And like I said, give me Tom Brady, give me the Buccaneers. Next up, 1-4 Carolina Panthers taking on the 2-3 LA Rams. I have the Rams going over. Nothing really is going right for Carolina. They just fired head coach Matt Rule and their defensive coordinator. I cannot think of his name off the top of my head. They fired both of them this past week. Baker Mayfield out for anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks, is from what I understand. So they are now Panthers returning to PJ Walker as their starting quarterback. The Rams, much like the Bengals, that was the Super Bowl 56 game last year. Both of these teams experiencing a hangover of sorts. They're just struggling to put together a complete football game. But I think playing the Rams right now is exactly what the Rams need, is to get an opponent, that they can kind of push around a little bit. I got the Rams going over on the Panthers. Next up, 2-3 Arizona Cardinals taking on the 2-3 Seattle Seahawks. I got the Cardinals going over in this game. Yes, it's in Seattle. Geno Smith has been playing really well. He's not the pushover everybody, I think thought he was going to be going into this season. He's put together a couple stellar games. That's why the Seahawks are 2-3. But at the end of the day, I just think the Cardinals are a better team. This will be the last week there without DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins is eligible to come off of his suspension next week. I think that's just going to make the Cardinals a better team. Can they get to 500 before he comes back? I think that they can. And then with D-Hop coming back into the lineup, I think Arizona is going to be on the rise. Don't think they're going to win that division. I think it's still going to be the Rams. However, having D-Hop back in the lineup is only going to bolster Arizona's offense, which is what it needs right now. So give me the Cardinals on the road. My game of the week, in my opinion, the 4-1 Buffalo Bills taking on the 4-1 Kansas City Chiefs. I've got the Bills going over this game. This is going to be another knocked out, dragged out affair. It just seems like the Bills can handle Kansas City in the regular season and then choke in the playoffs. I still think this is Buffalo's year. I've said it from the onset, from week one. I think Buffalo is the best team in the NFL. Agree to disagree, it does not matter. Will you stop meowing into the fan? But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair, but I like Josh Allen on the road. I think Josh Allen's going to be the MVP this year, and I just think at the end of the day, it just comes back to I think it's Buffalo's year. I really, really do. I got freaking Discord on my other monitor. I don't even do anything in Discord, to be honest with you. But anyway, I got the Bills going over the Chiefs. Sunday night football, we have the 4-1 Dallas Cowboys taking on the 5-0 Philadelphia Eagles. Can Philadelphia remain unbeaten? Yes, Philadelphia is a great team. I've got the Cowboys in an upset. I said this when Cooper Rush took the reins of the Cowboys when Dak Prescott went down after week 1, that I was going to ride with Cooper Rush until he lost. I picked the Rams last week. I lost that game. Cooper Rush still undefeated in his starts. I've got the Cowboy. The Eagles are going to fall. Don't get me wrong. Philly's got a fantastic team. They wouldn't be 5-0 if they didn't. But I like Dallas on the road. I like that running game. I like what Cooper Rush is doing offensively. He didn't pass for a whole lot of yards in that game against the Rams. He didn't need to. He had 2 running backs doing the heavy lifting. You got a 2-headed monster at running back. You don't need to throw the football. Look at the Browns, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb. Look at the Packers, Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon. Look at the Ravens, J.K. Dobbins, and what the hell's their other running back? The other running back eludes me, but the Ravens have a 2-headed running game. When you run the football as well as Dallas has done all year, you don't need a passing game. That's just the reality of it, guys. Pure and simple. I got the Cowboys to upset the Eagles. Again, way off? Who knows? And then Monday night, we have the 2-3 Denver Broncos taking on the 3-2 LA Chargers. I got the Chargers going over. I have no faith in the Denver Broncos. I really don't. Every time I've picked Denver, they've completely fell on their face. That game last week against the Colts, the 12-9 loss in overtime, thank God I did not watch that game. Everybody I've seen comment, talk about that game has pretty much said the same thing. That game was like watching flies fuck. Absolute boredom. And the Broncos lost. Russell Wilson can't do everything himself. I just kind of think that it comes down to, Russell Wilson needs playmakers. Javonte Booker out for the year with a torn ACL. Tim Patrick out for the year. The Broncos have lost some offensive weapons, but, Russell Wilson being the caliber quarterback he is, has playmakers. He's got Jerry Jeudy. That's like the main one that comes to my mind. He's very underutilized, in my opinion. Chargers, I think, are the best. Next to Kansas City, I think the Chargers are the best team in that division. I think the Chargers go to 4-2, and they get the job done. And like I said, the 4 teams on bye, so that's what we've got there. Let's recap. I got the Commanders over the Bears, the 49ers over the Falcons, Browns over the Patriots, Packers over the Jets, Colts over the Jaguars, Vikings over the Dolphins, Bengals over the Saints, Ravens over the Giants, Buccaneers over the Steelers, Rams over the Panthers, Cardinals over the Seahawks, Bills over the Chiefs, Cowboys over the Eagles, and the Chargers over the Denver Broncos. As you can see, my cat smeared my writing. That's why some of that was kind of hard to read, but at any event, that is your picks, ladies and gentlemen, for week 6, short and sweet. When the bye weeks happen, these videos usually don't run too long because, like I said, there's less games to talk about. But those are my picks. Let me know in the comments what you think. And yeah, so we'll see how these picks fare out. So that's going to wrap up this video. As always, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. We are 22 or 21 subs away from hitting 100 subs, which we'll be doing the live stream Q&A at that point. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you would. It does help the channel grow, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.